Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jeff. I'm making this video today to talk about the Big Island, life here on the Big Island. So, as I've been making these videos, people have been asking me various different questions about what I do, where I lived, where else I've lived, and where they could possibly live to do what they do. So I'm just going to go ahead and make this video to address some of the more recent questions about life here on the Big Island or life here on the island of Hawaii. So, when I first moved here, I lived in a place called Aloha. It's on the Hamakua Coast, and the Hamakua Coast, where I lived for 3 months, was in a home that used water catchment and grew wild fruit. Basically, bananas grew there, avocados, lychee, papaya, and yeah, there was a couple blueberry or blackberry trees also. So you could just go out in the mornings and grab fruit off the trees. It was pretty cool. The water catchment thing was a little bit unique because when it didn't rain for a couple of weeks or a week or so, and the water came low, you had to watch the amount of water that you would shower with. So it was like real quick, 1 minute shower in and out because water was not abundant. And then when it would rain 5 days in a row and the water catchment would overflow, it was like shower as much as you need to. Flushing the toilet was kind of an issue too, and I shared the location with another married couple. So, just I like to flush the toilet every time, but if you don't have a lot of water, sometimes when what's the thing the girl said? She said if it's yellow, keep it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. So that was her thing that we followed. Anyways, I just living off grid or living on a water catchment system was, after 3 months, I was kind of over that. I wanted the modern amenities of public water systems back. As far as that house, also, the kitchen and the bathroom and the shower was detached from the unit that I slept in. So I'd walk to the to the to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and that if it's raining out, it's not ideal. So that was my little experience living in off the grid in the Hamakua district for 3 months. I did it. There's some benefits. One of the benefits was I would always, it seemed like I woke up with a lot of inspiration every morning, a lot of new ideas. Whereas when I'm living here in Kona, I don't get as many ideas or creativity because I'm in the middle of the city and the grid. I don't know if there's anything that has to do with vibrations or whatever, but people will speculate that. I moved after that. I moved south of Hilo, and I would work in Hilo at the King Kamehameha market. But when I lived south of Hilo, I lived in a place called Hawaiian Beaches. It's pretty nice. It's in Puna. It's really close to Pahoa. This was at a time actually when the lava was getting ready to take out, or people were getting. It was actually taking out Pahoa, but it stopped. So it was, people were worried that Pahoa was going to get taken out, and then it was going to end up going all the way to take out Hawaiian Beaches. Living out there is unique, and now I mentioned this in particular because people have asked me about, like they say, hey, I'm a vegan lifestyle kind of person. I'm 420 friendly. Where should I go? And I always say go to Puna. Now, the thing about Puna, so when I recommend to people to go to Puna, I always have to throw in but. And this is not to pick on people from Puna or anything like that. I say this but as a, well, how do I put this? This is what I would hear all the time. Puna is a wild place, okay? It's right on top of an active volcano. Basically, liquid magma is boiling constantly underneath Puna. I mean, it could erupt at any time. That's why it almost took out Pahoa. Kapoho right down the road got taken out. I mean, it's a very active volcanic place, Puna district. And because of that, there's some people say there's a unique energy over there because of the volcano activity. So anybody you've ever talked to that's from Puna will say something about the volcano energy, just the uniqueness of that volcanology or whatever. But in that area, there is a lot of hippies, and the culture of 420 and magic mushrooms and hallucinogenics is very much alive in the Puna district. With that comes people who end up getting so heavily into the culture of hallucinogenics that they kind of go apeshit. They kind of lose it. That's why they call them Puna ticks. Okay? I didn't come up with the name. I'm just sharing stories with you. People over there are really nice, really friendly, but some people, every once in a while, you get a bad apple from Puna, and they give Puna a bad name. So Puna is kind of known as a place where high crime is. And so when I was living over there, people were kind of telling me these stories and recommending that I consider moving elsewhere. Now, this also happened concurrently with the time when I ended up deciding to go on a world travel, which had nothing to do with leaving Puna. But when I left, my friend had sold the house that I was living in, or got rid of the house that I was living in. So I ended up saying, well, heck, I'm going to go to Kona because I really like Kona. So I've been in Kona for a while now. And Kona is very hot and arid, whereas Hilo, the Hamakua Coast side, we were getting a lot of rain. Remember, water catchment and stuff like that. So Kona is more touristy also. There's a lot more jobs over here than in Hilo, the Hilo side. So basically the reason I bring all this up is if you're into vegan lifestyle, being a hippie, you have low budget, money's an issue, and then you're going to want to go to Hilo, Puna, because you can buy lots over in that area, Ka'u, for cheap, $7,000 an acre sometimes. Here in Kona, lots start at, 35, 45, 55. I don't know the exact number. You'd have to check the real estate market, but they're expensive. $45,000 for like not even an acre, depending on where you're trying to go. So two polar different price ranges. And, you just gotta realize that there's when property in Hawaii is cheap, there's a reason for it, and it's because something has made it cheap. In the case of Puna, Ocean View, areas like that, the volcano plays a very large factor in that, but also some reason drugs have taken a stronghold there that has also kept the price down, even when the volcano is not, going crazy. It's not the people, it's people on drugs. Anytime you're in a place where people are using drugs, there's gonna be high crime. So that's what kind of is going on in Puna, and a lot of people are gonna say, hey, that's messed up. You're speaking the truth about Puna, or you shouldn't say this about Puna. You should be more optimistic, and I get that. And I'm not saying that Puna is a bad place. I actually like Puna. I love Puna. I think it's a great place. I'm just saying what you're gonna hear, and I'm validating what you're gonna hear, to put it into perspective so that you can understand why someone would say that. And that's why. The Punatics term, because no matter what anyone else tells you, I've sat down at Subway, I've sat down at coffee shops, and I've had people tell me, locals, why they're wanting to leave Puna, why they should have never gone to Puna. I mean, these are people who probably came to Hawaii for this magical Hawaiian, Waikiki, Maui kind of lifestyle, and they went to Puna, and it just didn't live up to it. Because you're not going to get that in Puna. Puna is hippies, 420 culture. It takes a special type of person to go to Puna. It's not going to be your Waikiki, Maui kind of culture. If you want that on the Big Island, you're going to want to go to Waikoloa and Kona if you can afford it. Okay, so if you're low budget, Hilo is going to be your option, but don't expect the whole Waikiki kind of style life over in Hilo. So this is just kind of putting things into perspective, answering questions that have been asked. I don't know if this is going to be of value to you, but The whole off the grid thing, it's in Puna. Wild fruit in Puna, in Hilo, in Hamakua. If you want it in Kona, it's going to be up in Kealakekua, up in Captain Cook, but it's going to be expensive. It's not going to be your $7,000 an acre. It's going to start at $55,000 an acre, but you can grow fruit. One of the things that is very commonly grown in Captain Cook is Kona coffee. Kona coffee comes from Kealakekua, that area, Captain Cook. Okay, so that's another reason why property is really expensive there. There's a lot of coffee barons. Okay, so that's that. See you later.